People tell me, Dagnel, you've reset so many islands for your challenges, but do you have a personal island that you play on casually? And the answer is yes, I do. In fact, I've had this island since the day Animal Crossing New Horizons came out. While I certainly haven't played this island every day since then, and I feel like it's far less impressive than many islands I've seen, it seems like there's some people who want to see what my personal island looks like. So, here it is. Starting in the living room is the very familiar couch and TV area with the ACNH switch to boot. The whole living room has a natural feel to it with rush tatami flooring and bamboo wall with a few plants around the room as well. This is definitely the room that I'm most proud of because I feel like everything just kind of fits in, minus the gaming computer, but that's not going anywhere. The retro stereo in brown has every KK song that I meticulously collected throughout the years of playing. Smaller parts of the room are mostly a mishmash of small random items that I thought would fit the theme of the room, along with items on the wall, some of which symbolize achievements in the game, like this HHA plaque. By the way, I thought it'd be fun to make a game out of this video, so whoever can guess my HHA score as close as possible, I'll pin your comment. I'll check every comment 1 week after this video goes live. Anyway, there's also some items in this room for convenience, such as the crafting table, the mirror, and the trash can. Always nice to have those easily accessible. Now this house is fully upgraded, so I have rooms to the west, the north, and the east that branch off from the living room. We'll start in the west room, and that is my bathroom. I'd like to think that I have my own personal bathroom behind some hydrangea bushes in a rainy forest. So if somebody ever asks you, does a Dagnel shit in the woods? You can simply tell them yes. Obviously, I try to keep a sort of natural theme, but there's no yawn in this John. You want a ring fit while you shower? You can do that. You want to switch while you shit? You can do that too. Make sure to wash your filthy hands when you're done. Huh, do not go in there. To the north is my bedroom, and how perfect is it that I have the falling snow wall in here during this time of year? Probably the most notable thing about this room is the pictures on the wall. All of them are villagers that are on my island or lived here at some point. The rest of the room features mostly the whitewood variant of the log series, including the bed. Speaking of which, my dream address has been updated as of making this video if you want to tour my island for yourself. Here's the code. But yeah, nothing remarkable here, I just tried to make a room that you'd be comfortable in, and I think I did an okay job of that. Now the east wing room is the kitchen. Sort of a mess, admittedly, a bit cramped, a bit all over the place thematically. This definitely would be the room that I rework first, should I so choose. What's this switch doing here? Why should I have to reach up to grab a knife? Why are there two clocks? It's not bad looking at it, but I clearly had little to no direction of what I wanted to do in here. I'll work on that, eventually. Not right now. So that just leaves the upstairs and the downstairs, which, The upstairs is literally just a green screen room. I use this to make thumbnails for my videos. Here's some examples from my Switch's gallery. Collecting every Zodiac item, millionaire speedrun, 5 blue roses 5 different ways, 3 stars on a mini island, catching every fish in the series. You get the idea. So interesting in that context, but otherwise a completely barren room. Then downstairs isn't much better. I used to play a game after every time I streamed New Horizons where before I ended the stream, I would have chat guess the results of all 4 wheels here. Red or black, death or life, 1 through 8, and a symbol among the 8 on this wheel. Calculating the odds of 1 and 2, 7 and 8, if you chose death, 1 and 8, and 1 and 8 would give you about a 0.68% chance of being correct, or about 17 in 2,500. People have won before, many times in fact, and usually I'd reward them with a gifted subscription to my channel or something along those lines. Anyway, again, interesting concept, uninteresting room. So that's the house, but of course this isn't just a house tour, it's an island tour. So, let's head outside. First off, here's the map of my island, including the villagers I currently have. I called it Twitch because 4 years ago I was like, yes, I will stream the gameplay of this island on twitch.tv. I will not regret naming it that later on. My house is situated on what I call my farm, which encompasses most of the bottom right of my island. I call it my farm because I have it organized in a way where I can efficiently farm fruits, crops, and flowers. Immediately to the right of the house is the orchard, featuring 3 rows of 5 kinds of fruit trees, spaced apart properly where there's enough room to harvest both the fruit and the wood should you so desire. Then 4 rows of bamboo to the right of that to harvest bamboo and young spring bamboo in the springtime. The different colored dirt patches are nice to separate the different trees from each other while also looking pretty cool as well. Going down from my house is an outdoor area for crafting and cooking. There's also a shed so you don't have to go inside to access your items in storage. Down further from that is where I farm my crops. Again, I separate the rows by alternating the dirt paths between the light and the dark dirt. There's 6 different kinds of crops, and they're organized by wheat, potatoes, sugarcane, tomatoes, pumpkins, and carrots, repeating once more below. The top row of pumpkins grow exclusively orange ones, while the bottom row evenly splits between white, green, and yellow pumpkins in order. Then to the right of that is flowers, where I again alternate dirt colors to separate them by color. They're sorted by purple, pink, blue, orange, and black. This row is different, but we'll get to that in a second. Notice how no 2 similar flowers in the first 5 rows touch. These flowers aren't breeding, they're cloning, which is nice because it guarantees that you won't get random colors of flowers to pop up. And if there's ever a flower not in here that you want to set up for cloning, it's simple to swap them in and out as desired, unless the color doesn't match. But that's what this last row is for. Here you can put whatever flowers you want to breed next to each other between the rows of black roses. Say you want to make an orange pansy, put a red pansy here and a yellow one here, and then water them with the golden watering can, which then has the added effect of producing gold roses from the black rose rows that separates them. Isn't that neat? So that's the farm. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Exiting the farm to the south leads you to
Muscle Beach.
Conveniently located between Agent S and Kit Kat's house, because they're superheroes, and they need to stay in shape. Would you let this guy spot you? I'd let this guy spot me. To the right of that is my dock with Captain, who's chillin', unbothered, moisturized, happy, in his lane, focused, flourishing. Going north from there is kind of a whole lot of nothing. Here's Faith's house, which is okay, I guess. But the top right of this island is kind of my nothing area. By the time I got to this part of the island, I was growing a bit bored of the game, and I started moving more towards doing challenges and stuff like that. That being said, there is this man-made waterfall and river area, which looks pretty nice. And then next to that is the secret beach where Red spawns. I like the little pathway that leads back here, but I didn't do too much with the beach itself. The cliffs to the left of that pathway is where I put Patty's house, who, despite being one of my longest tenured villagers, I never got around to decorating her area to fit her style. Then down the incline and to the left is Cube's house, which I did decorate, because Cube and Kit Kat, those are my boys. Ever since the days of Wild World, those two have been my favorite villagers, so along with Kit Kat's Muscle Beach, I did make sure to make Cube his own special little area, because he deserves it. Okay, you got me. You saw this little fella back when I was showing my villages. You thought I was gonna ignore him, didn't ya? Well, no, this is El Baño, named because he was essentially created for storage purposes when my house storage filled up, so all my extra junk would be sent to his house. You know, the toilet, so to speak. However, after the 2.0 update added gyroids, I sort of turned his house into a display for them, all sorted by color, and it actually made for a pretty cool display. Just to the left of that is the seasonal clock. The bushes are oriented in a way where you can tell the season by which ones have bloomed. Throughout the year, the bushes bloom in a clockwise manner. I first found this design from Sildon on the Animal Crossing subreddit. Starting from the 12 o'clock position and going around, it goes holly, camellia, azalea, hydrangea, hibiscus, and tea olive bushes. White man jump scare! Look at him go! Pop this little guy next to this house, currently occupied by Sasha, a random move-in if you'd believe it. I haven't even introduced myself to them yet. Continuing to the left of that, we have a crossroads. We'll start to the north because it's easier. Up here is Mint's house, who, definitely shouldn't have fall-themed items outside. I think long ago this used to be Poppy's house, which makes a lot more sense given her interior. Then behind that and up these stairs is the museum, of which, you'd expect from me, is complete. Every bug, fish, sea creature, fossil, and work of art donated. To the left of that and across this stream is where I wanted to make a rock garden before I realized, oh, I can't be asked to do that. Little camping area to the left of that, and then down these stairs is Bill's house. Again, not who I built this area for, but as villagers have come and gone, I just haven't bothered to update the decorations around their house. Then across this little bridge is a bunch of vaguely beach-related items for this small area of my island that I have up here. This Onca sand display works a lot better with the bright color of the sand in the summertime. In fact, I think this whole island looks better in the summertime, so let's fix that. Ah, that's better. Now, let's head south from that crossroad this time, which leads us up to the main camping area, a cute little spot for prospective villagers to camp out on my island. Left of that is the outdoor lounge area, for lounging, outdoors, and then just to the left of that is Nook's Cranny, fully upgraded with an ABD outside for your convenience, bikes for Timmy and Tommy, which, now that I think about it, are way too big for their tiny little legs. Going down this incline will lead you to the beach on the left and the Able Sisters on the right. There's not too much over here, so let's start left. That's where the natural peninsula to my island is, and I turned that into a small fishing area, complete with a cooler, to change in, of course. Then another small lounge area here with a lighthouse. Going the other way from the incline is the Able Sisters, and an outdoor tailoring area, for when, tailoring inside is just getting to be too much. Then a hop, skip, but not quite a jump, leads you down to the graveyard, one of my favorite places on my island. Here's where I memorialize every villager who has left my island. Of course, I've had so many villagers move in and out at this point that this isn't a complete list of them all, mostly just the ones that I remember the fondest. I tried as well to match the color and style of gravestone to what most closely matches the villager. Then across from that is Resident Services. This island is, of course, 5 stars. After all, what kind of fraud would I be if my main island had a worse rating than all those garbage islands that I got up to 5 stars? Down that path further isn't much, but I do still have that glitched sign from a video that I made forever ago at this point. From what we figured out, it's pulling textures from nearby items and displaying them on a flat plane. Some weird glitch that some code nerd could probably explain better than I can. Then below the graveyard is the beach, once again, not decorated very much. I guess I just don't like decorating beaches. Down and to the right of Resident Services is the path to and from the airport. I made a pretty grand entrance here that I'm pretty proud of. Even though it's cherry blossom themed, it can be enjoyed throughout every season. I think so anyway. When I used to do a lot more trading around the release of the game, having this DIY area near the airport was very convenient. I'd always drop my duplicate DIYs here, and people could come by and see if they needed any of them, and leave spare ones of their own that I might need. Plus there's this little box if you want to throw a little coin my way. Then to the right of that is a park that I never really got to finishing. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with this area, but hey, it's solar powered. Then that leads back to the south entrance of my farm, meaning that we're pretty much done. Being honest, I haven't played this island much after 2.0 came out, so I never really got to decorating each villager's house interior or anything like that. Really, this island has been pretty inactive for a couple of years now. I've always focused more on my challenges, and once that sort of became my thing, I never really took the time to complete this island to the extent that I wanted to. Nonetheless, I do think it is pretty nice, and I'm happy to show it to the people who have been wanting to see something for a while now. Island tours aren't really my thing, so don't expect more stuff like this, but I hope you did enjoy it, even if it was different compared to what I normally do. Thank you for watching.